last night, 3 a.m. in the morning, and I kind of wake up and I'm like, whoa, okay, what's happening here? Because I'm like half asleep, but I also kind of wake up and I'm having an orgasm. I'm like, whoa, I'm having an orgasm. Like, what is going on? So anyway, I managed to stop myself somehow, and I get up properly, like fully wake up, go to the toilet, change my underwear, go back to bed. And yeah, I'd had an orgasm and I'd ejaculated. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how do you deal with some of the thinking that can come up after a wet dream when you are dealing with a porn addiction. So I actually ended up being really, really horny this morning, and I had quite a lot of urges. And what can happen is there can be some addicted, junky thinking going on. The addicted part of your mind is going to try and spin you out, and it's going to try and get you to question what's gone on with this wet dream. And it's going to come up with things like, I came so close to finishing. Maybe you kind of were like halfway through ejaculating in this wet dream. Like, that's kind of what happened to me. And then my mind was going like, oh, I need to like go and fully finish now. Like, it was just coming up with some BS. Like, it's not actually true. But I had all this like intense desire and urges, and I was genuinely thinking, like, I had some thoughts around, oh, I need to go and like masturbate now, which was bullshit. That's not actually how it works. So what I did in that moment is I read through a script. I have a very specific script which helps me make a rational, conscious choice in that moment that I have a desire to engage in a compulsive behaviour. I read through it, made my choice, and then I got my laptop bag, went for a walk down the canal, went to a really nice breakfast place, and did some work for a few hours. And on that walk, honestly, that urge, by that point, going on that walk, completely gone. I did not have any urge, any desire at all. And that is the best evidence you can get that all that thinking that was going on earlier is just the addicted part of your mind, and that it does not last forever. Because what will come up is thoughts like, I just need to go and release now. Like, it's just not how it works. You don't actually need to go and release. You don't need to. Your body sorts you out naturally. So this is something I really recommend people watch out for when they're having wet dreams and they're trying to quit pornography, is any excuse, rationalization, justification that comes up to do with the wet dream to try and get them to go and masturbate and also probably look at porn as well. So what you want to do is, as I say, think through the decision, because you do have a choice and no one can ever take that choice away from you. And realize that these urges are always temporary. A bit like if you had like a big heavy rock and like you threw it into a lake, and it's going to create like a big ripple splash. Now that splash is going to be there, and it's going to be there quite large at first, but then it's kind of going to calm down, and then in a short period of time you're not even going to see that splash anymore at all in the lake. That's how I kind of see urges, is they do come, but if you think through it and you make a rational choice using the prefrontal cortex, like the actual rational part of your brain, instead of just being overwhelmed and compelled by the addictive part of your mind, if you actually get that rational part of your mind back in control, then the lake's going to be really, really calm again. And on that walk, going out for breakfast this morning, I felt so good. I felt so empowered just knowing that I'd overcome this urge, and it was really, really nice to just know like I am fully in control of my mind, and I always will be, whether I have wet dreams or not. So what are you going to do? Like, are you going to choose to focus on avoiding this wet dream, or are you going to choose to focus on the moments you're actually fully awake? Because what I would say a lot of people do is they also try and avoid having wet dreams. What I would say is like, yeah, wet dreams, they don't feel so good. But when you know 100% with complete certainty that if you have a wet dream, you're not going to go and look at porn, you're not going to go and masturbate. When you know that, you're not going to try and avoid wet dreams. If you do want to try and avoid wet dreams, the biggest 2 tips I can provide is to stay hydrated and don't sleep in too warm conditions. That's just my personal experience. Maybe it's different for everyone. There's not a lot of academic research on this at all. But for me personally, last night, I think it was 100% linked to me going to sleep in a really, really warm flat. I didn't open my windows last night because there was a party going on outside. It was kind of annoying. And it was either basically be way too hot or not get any sleep at all because it's way too loud. So I shut my windows and they're like really soundproof, and so I got to sleep. But then, yeah, as I say, I woke up about 3 a.m. and I had this wet dream, and it's not ideal, it's not amazing, but it's also just totally natural and it's fine and it's not a big deal. So just carry on with your day and don't focus too much on like avoiding the wet dream, because really it's more about not avoiding porn, but choosing not to look at porn. That's what really matters if you're going through addiction recovery. So hopefully this video helps you a little bit. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. And also you can go and get the free training to learn more about the Beyond Compulsion method, which is the method that was taught me by a woman called Mary Paulus. That's helped me finally quit pornography for good. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.